Uh-huh.
See you like every other day walking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a lot to see.
Yeah. Already. You working out or what?
Yeah, always.
Yeah, working.
All right. That's it. No, I didn't do this one yesterday. Was it yesterday? It was Monday. It's weird, it's acting up. It went off on me while I was trying to figure it out. found it. Northbound lane side. They need to repaint these lanes. Oh man, that's a whole nother. No, I gotta put the ticket in. That is looking pretty bad. I'll take a look at it on Monday. They only need a few. Yeah, they need to repaint and everything. Boy, it is terrible out here. Like I said, I put in 31 tickets, or 32 just now, 33. Golly, I forgot about that. I put in 33 tickets this week, so I think I'm gonna give myself and them a break. But just know that that's going to be a pin I'm going to put that on the board. We need repainting and new reflective bumps on Webb Chapel. Unless somebody who's watching this video wants to put the ticket in for me, please. I guess they filled in something over there. So yeah, they did fix the street lights. There was about 3 of them that were out last time. I was here on Monday. Yeah, I need to. Yeah, this all needs to be redone. All right. Well, the traffic people know me. Like I said, they know. The transportation people know. You know, I put the ticket in, and they'll say, "Yeah, thanks for bringing that to our attention, and we'll get it fixed next year." It's paint and bumpers. I'm painting stuff, so you know, it's not that tough. Did I ask for that? I know I told them to fix that one thing, and they just said that the storm drain, that's what it was. I told them the curb was bad, and they ignored it. That's what they do. It's like, unless it's the storm drain itself, they don't care. But all this needs to be repainted. You can't even see the lanes. I guess I'll do that tonight. It's not that hard to take. Like I said, I'll take a few samples off of my feed here. I mean, like I said, if I got my lights on it and you can't see shit, that's less than grade B. So we'll get it together. These kind of tickets are pretty easy. I just got to put a few photos together. Well, get a Google satellite, highlight the entire area in a square, using using the drawing app on Linux, and probably take me about 10 minutes. 10, 15, no, it'll take me longer than that. Depends on, yeah, it won't take me that long. Yeah, this won't take long at all. I'd knock it out right now, but the website's screwy on my mobile phone. But yeah, this whole area is just, yeah, it needs it. Anyway, put it in as under my, I need to go check my foot. Like I said, I'll look at it on Monday. I need to wait. I need to see just how far down the rabbit hole this goes. I think this is all the way from, they said they filled, oh, they did fill it in. Okay. All right, I can pull this one off the stack. Yeah, y'all did it. Awesome. Okay, yeah, this looks good. All right. This is a quick and dirty patch, but that's perfect for this. So, you see somebody rolling over it. The one time I need an asshole to be in the right lane. Well, anyway, it's fixed. I'll reply with a good survey and a thank you, and that'll be the end of that. Meanwhile, I did put a ticket in for this. I said the crosswalk needed to be repainted, and they said it's 6 months, and that was way back in April. That's 7 months now, and they still haven't fixed this. I need to go dig it out and find out what happened with this one. I know who to talk to. I mean, I'll just send it to her and I'll say, hey, what happened with this one? I was going by the other day and I don't see any progress on it. I see whatever element left that stupid, whatever that was. It looked like an amp or something. I said if I see it when I come back around, I'll grab it and toss it. But they got this weirdo that comes around here and he hangs around and he dances to his own beat, and they got a couple of them, I'm thinking. See, like they repainted this. That's reflective, and they got the reflective bumps on there. So Webb Chapel, worst thing they could do is look at the whole thing and say, no, it's not as bad as he says it is, or it's not these locations. So I'll say Webb Chapel from Walnut Hill to, let's say Larga. No, I need to wait till Monday. I need to go back down here, get a real good look at it, put together my report. I can't remember if I asked them to paint this. Was it me or someone? All I know is I did put a report in saying that they needed to fix the curbs. Like this mess right here. Oh, they kind of did. Okay, I guess I didn't even notice. Like I said, quick and dirty. And the lady told me that, she said on those kind of jobs we put asphalt patches in, and sometimes the homeowners don't like that because it looks ugly. And I said, I didn't ask you to fix the curb, I'm asking you to fix the storm drain. She said, I understand, I was just trying to clarify. I was like, okay, I get it now. But I have a piece, now I have knowledge. And I said, thanks for explaining it. The curb's job is to keep those cars from damaging property or people or property. And so if the curb's broken, it's not doing its job. That's another ticket. No, this is gonna have to be the next project because it's. Oh man, I got a lot of work to do. All right, I got a lot of work to do. Now, here's the thing: it's part of the beat sector. It's part of the sector beat that I live within. But it's not in my voting precinct. I was like, fuck these people. I was like, no. This green space it belongs to, it's shared. So even though it's not in your voting precinct, it is something that the people in your area will like to use. And why am I all obsessed with this stuff? It's because someone was telling me that I'm doing too much in too many areas and that I need to kind of concentrate on my area. And so that's what I'm doing. Trying to see how much I can get done within this little area. That was an easy ticket to get put in. So when somebody asks you, well, what do you need in your area, man, I was like, you got a minute? This was kind of a challenge. This is one of my first instances where I had to put foot in the ass. It was crazy. They told me, oh, they fixed it, and all they did was they pulled out the metal spikes and then left it dangling. So I sent it over to my city council person. I said, are y'all okay with that like that? I mean, if somebody hits that and goes off the railing, as soon as I said that, they pulled it straight, put new bolts in, put new concrete in. I don't know if that's cosmetic or I don't know if it's deep. I don't know if they drilled in, put the thing in there and then covered it with concrete. And so if somebody hits that, it will keep them from going off into the Joe's Creek. No, I didn't have that one back fixed. I said someone else must have had that one fixed. This is the one I had fixed. The guy was real cool about it. I talked to him. I said, hey, I told him the coordinate. He called me. He says, where were you talking about? And I was like, oh, it's over here, blah, blah, blah. He said, oh, yeah, I see it now. And what saves me a lot of phone calls now is using GPS. A lot of times someone will tell, I'll tell them, hey, it's over in this GPS coordinate, and then I don't hear anything else after that. But yeah, this is this whole area, I want this. That's one of the things I want, is I want 88 curbs put in that little spot there. Like I said, technically it's not in my voting precinct. No, wait. It is. It is. Well, you can't even press the button. Another ticket to put in. Eh. This guy's coming with a head of steam. All right, it's a full moon. Where are you? It's right up above me. Yeah. Probably shouldn't stop in front of the werewolf house. I keep meaning to put a ticket in on that. I don't get around to it. I'm trying to figure out why I had Steven Universe in my playlist. This, I don't know what's going on with this. Do they feel bad because it's a church? But even still, they can get help. They have aid for this kind of thing. But it's a business, they got a leak, no one's taking care of it. I think it's time I go to church. Make a proposal. How much would it cost to get that fixed? If they tell me it's $5,000, I'll be like, oh, I'll keep in touch. It's a lot of money to spend for a stranger, but it's not too much to right a wrong for my sidewalks. All I care about is the sidewalks. And unfortunately, a lot happens next to them. You know what it is? Okay, I know what I did. I downloaded, or I had it was a compilation of all the songs from Steven Universe, and I put it in my long play. And then it was in the playlist, and so it got sucked up into what I got now. Like, all the songs in Steven Universe were terrible to me. I listened to them and the keys are off and there's not really much of a rhythm to it. But the point of the matter is, they're good songs because they were having fun singing them. I can't say anything bad about people who are having fun singing. I may not like it, but it's good. Music is a drug. And just like any other drug, you can abuse it. Steven Universe is skunk weed. It'll mellow you out, but it's not the good stuff. My favorite character from Steven Universe was Pearl. I love that nose. But she was rigid. Steven Universe was painful. That's why I watched it. I was like, man, this is I was like, this for kids? You know, it was all about interpersonal conflicts and drama, and you know, when they weren't trying to save the universe from some kind of from a shard, they were trying to save themselves from psychological demons and scars of the past. And the latter part was the more interesting. I like that there was always resolution. I like the fact that the resolutions weren't clean, but they were resolutions. It wasn't everyone lived happily ever after. It was, we know what the problem is. We're gonna fix ourselves. I'm working on it. Once again, did I put this in? I don't remember. Sometimes I wonder if it's, like I said, the other groups see this and they go, we need to do our part, and so somebody did something. But all this is right. They put reflective bumps and everything, and I remember I had to put a ticket in about that stops that school zone sign. Man, that was painful. And then when it finally got done, I was a happy camper. Just the little things. Is it still there? Yeah, it's still there. Like I said, these are the waving ones. I'm not going to touch it. It's not blinking. Probably because of the time. You know, the one thing that I don't understand is why didn't they make this like on a timer where when you hit about 11 o'clock here, it just flashes. There can't be that many people coming off of Linnell, right? Well, I'm definitely not going to finish this in 15 minutes. So, looks like I'm going to have a continuation day. This is actually a good song. It's the one sung by there's a British singer that she plays, what's the name? What's the name of this? Garnet? How are we doing? we're not doing so good. Yeah, looks like it's going to be a sub 10,000 day. Can't sync up while I'm. Oh, well, hold on. We got an update. All right, we're gonna hit target. We're gonna hit our target by the time we hit Midway. I guess it's pretty accurate. All right, anyway, 300 steps to go. By the time I get to Midway, I'll be generously over. Let's see now, barring any weirdness, by the time it hits midnight, I should be close to Park Lane. Now, I'm probably gonna hit, I'm definitely gonna pass Willow Grove. There's nothing to inspect over here. They took care of what they were supposed to take care of. The reflective bumpers are there. The pothole was filled. All the parking signs have been fixed. That was a surprisingly easy one to get fixed. Some Baracho hit knocked it over. You know what, that might have been when they started. Okay, I know what it is. I was like, why did they repaint this? I put a ticket in for them to repaint the crosswalk back there. They told me someone else had put in a ticket about that already. I said, I understand. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. I wonder why it's so hard to get crosswalks put in. I'm trying to get one around Larga and Boulevard, and then they told me I had to put in ADA curb requests. And I was like, why would I put an ADA curb request? There's no, I was like, there's not really any curb or sidewalk. Okay, I was like, all right, let's put it in. So I even brought that back. I said, look, you closed the ticket y'all created for me and said we got to create 88, put a ticket in for 88 ramps. Anyway, it's never easy. Oh, I get stuck in somebody's tire. $10 minutes. You know, this tree limb almost. Okay. You got to see it from different perspectives. So sometimes you're walking down there and you can see like the limb is obscuring the traffic light. You know what? Maybe the people from around here watch my videos. That sign that I put together and put on the thing, it's gone now. I don't know. It's not here. That's the main point. It's not blocking the sidewalk. Well, thank you to whoever took care of that. I was whooped, man. I was like, I'd have picked it up and put it on the median if I could have. Four minutes to midnight. Still a quick check. I want to say that there are 10,200 steps. Oh, that's why I was listening to this, because I liked the song at the end that his mother sang. Rose Sapphire, she sang this song. Now why'd you go back to, there we go, 10,600 and okay. And so now I gotta listen to all the songs in order to hear that one song. Okay, that's cool. I'm just going down memory lane here. I forgot what Rebecca Sugar's working on now. Sometimes I hear these names and I wonder, did she pick the name? Did the family pick the name? Was it an Ellis Island thing where they mixed something up? Did she have a Spanish name and they wanted to fit in, so they just said sugar instead of azúcar? Azúcar? You'll never know. Uh-oh. Is this after you had a voice change? Yeah, this is it. And so this was, I forgot what the name of the, they had the Steven Universe movie, and his mom had some kind of servant or play. She had a play partner or a toy or something like that, and she neglected it, and it went crazy, or she went crazy. That's the whole movie. And so the resolution was, that's the thing about Steven Universe, man. You're gonna get hurt. That's how they solve every problem, is the hero gets hurt. And that was kind of the big deal, is that Steven Universe had taken so many beatings that it affected him. He just couldn't hurt anymore. And at the end of the series, it was like is he gonna be all right? It was like, we don't know. He drove off and went to find himself. He's gonna come back with a beard and an attitude. We don't know. And I like that shows have an ending. Is that metal? That's plastic. But it could whack up and hit somebody. Anyway. There isn't. I guess that's what I liked about Steven Universe, is that you don't have to have a great ending, you just have to have an ending. Let people speculate and be angry and say, that's it? What happens with this? What happens with that? I was like, ladies and gentlemen, what happens with anything? In real life, I've had a ton of endings, and none of them have ever been clean and fairy tale. What you learn in physics, only on the atomic scale are there perfectly inelastic collisions. What I mean is, when you run into something, there's always a messy transference of energy. It's never 100% gets thrown into something else. It's never totally perfectly. It never hits perfectly. Okay, here we go. No, I get nervous now because I've had times where I threw stuff away and some guy hops over the fence and yells at me, and I was like, I'm throwing it away. Is that okay? And he says, yeah, I was just trying to figure out what the hell you were doing. I was like, I was throwing away something. And then we strike up a conversation. But it's still terrifying at midnight. I don't know if, you know, I don't want to become a Second Amendment target. Oh, I know which one this was. I was like, this is pretty. There was a fusion dance and this song was playing. Or maybe it was a montage song. There were a lot of those too. This might be why. I don't know who sings the song. It's called Being Human. But that's not the one I... This is the one. And it's a creepy song because it's a reminder that his mom is always hanging around in some form or fashion in the show. She's never incarnate, but she is always present. Like, she gave up her body to birth him, and so she's a ghost the whole time. Something that just lingers, that some resolution that they can never quite have, and they just muddle through it. And it's messy in that fact because they respect her sacrifice, but they're angry that she's gone. Steven's mad that she's gone because he never got to know her, and the rest of the Crystal Gems are mad because they lost a friend, but also, like I said, they lost their anchor. But I guess they got a new anchor in Steven. All right, and that's the end. Oh shit, my brain's not working. Well, that's just more steps. So busy, like I said, I got absorbed in the Steven universe. It was a game with lousy play control. It was an experiment, and it was an experiment that kind of panned out, but it never formed anything else. But it was a game that showed people what the NES was all about. Sorry, my thing transitioned into, I got the soundtrack from Go-Go 13. And Go-Go 13 was it was an anime or it was a manga. It was an anime and a manga about Duke Togo, who was like this expert marksman with an M16. He had an M16 sniper rifle, and they would send him out on different missions, and when he had to take out, you know, a lot. He was an assassin, but he was taking out bad guys. But there were some cinematic cutscenes in it. It was one of the first games that had that. There was there was a storyline. It was sorry, listening to Mr. Talkbox. Are you watering the grass or watering the street? Go-Go 13, huh? Yeah, it was... It's funny, I played it as a kid, and there was one where you meet the girl in the hotel. She comes up to you, she grabs you, and the light turns off in the apartment, and all of a sudden your guy, if he had any kind of injuries or damage, his health would go up. By the way, Duke Togo was a ladies' man. But what I can't understand is, maybe I need to do some research. I'm surprised they didn't make another Go-Go 13 video game. It seems like it's an intellectual property that would make a great modern video game series. Open world, like they made Hitman, they could make Go-Go 13. So let me see. So they put the ADA ramps here. When I cross this street, they didn't put one here. But they could, since it's all busted up. Oh man, it's another request. But yeah, both these sides. Park Lane, I don't know what's going on over here. We got incomplete sidewalks. We got some places that hate ADA and others that don't. All right, I'm getting washed by somebody's. The dude's sprinkler's hitting me all up. It's kind of weird that I haven't heard Sun Goddess yet, but I got E40 here. Registration sticker expired by 3 months. Somebody's got a $200 bill. And I trip out when people say it slipped their mind. I was like, but that tells me that there's no enforcement. Why do we have vehicle registration? You ask 4 or 5 different people, you get 4 or 5 different answers. It's supposed to pay for roads. It's supposed to make sure that the owner maintains vehicle safety. It's supposed to help law enforcement in case somebody steals the vehicle and we know who it actually belongs to. So whenever you see somebody that doesn't have that taken care of, they're violating all of that. And so for it to just slip your mind, you're not paying your fair share for roads and bridges. We don't know if your vehicle is going to pass inspection. We don't know if your vehicle's stolen. Now, the libertarian guy says none of that matters, except it does matter. For the libertarians that are saying that, wait until you get into a traffic accident or somebody steals your shit, or you can't breathe. And you say to yourself, well, you think the state can handle it? And I said the state's handled it so far. There's a reason we have registration. When cars first came out, they were a menace. They were dangerous. They were scary. People were getting killed left and right. And the car manufacturers had to change the narrative. I mean, hell, Winston Churchill. Damn. That vehicle, that car, inspection sticker expired almost 9 months ago. When Winston Churchill got hit by a car. He said he was at fault, but I mean, he spent his whole life not getting hit by cars in England, then he comes to the United States and gets hit right off the bat. What does it say about our respective countries? I don't think that one has an inspection, a registration sticker. Yeah, there's something going on over here. But yeah, park lines all over the place. And like its Monopoly namesake, it's a weird mid-range property. But what like I said, I can't stress it enough. Park Lane is a powerful street. This street goes all the way to Garland. That's still an issue. But yeah, it's weird that they put this brand new sidewalk here, but they didn't have to put ADA curbs. The developer did the bare minimum. They said, be glad you got sidewalks. I am. But as I get older and it gets harder to step up on these curbs, I can definitely appreciate an ADA ramp here and there. I even said this is where they need to put the bike lanes. They shot that down right off the bat. They said, no, we already have plans for Cortez. I said, Cortez? Are you kidding me? I was like, how the hell are you going to build a bike lane on Cortez? That narrow ass street. Why would you build one on Cortez? It doesn't connect with anything. And so that's where you come to the meetings and you say something that makes sense. But the city guy looks at you and rolls his eyes and say, well, that's not what we budget. That's not what we planned in the budget. Or no, they already have that there. Still think about Sunday, man. I get on Sunday's nerves, but I mean, I'm gonna keep doing that. You had all them people asking the questions about the greenscape. Here's a greenscape that nobody can walk to, but everybody's supposed to be able to just drive by and see it. I was like, who the hell's gonna drive by and see it while they're trying to figure out how to get to the airport? The last thing you need in that location is a visual distraction. Boy, it is dark over here. I can't believe they don't have a single street light. I guess I could put a request in for one. And the reason they need a street light over here is because the next thing I'll be hearing is somebody on the next door. Oh, this guy came by and did this to my car. Or somebody, that's why they have those security lights over there by the damn construction thing, because there's no lights over here. All right. I guess we'll be getting David Silva's blood pressure up again. He's gonna get tired of us. But, you know, it's like, hey, you're the man, you know? But yeah, they need a street light over here. I can't believe they don't have a single street light over here. Wouldn't NB shot that down? All right. So then they'll tell me to get a petition together, and I think that's how it works. You got to get a petition, you got to get the people to sign it. I don't even think they have to do that. I think what they'll do is nowadays they just do a study. So then I look up here and there's the Libertarian street light. Somebody just got up high in the tree and put their own light in. All right, well, that's, oh man, it's like I walk through here, I'm doing a survey. It looks like the Mjolnir route's going to become more of a mainstay. There's just so much to see. This is barely part of my area, but maybe I'll just ask somebody randomly on the street. I was like, hey, you guys y'all want street lights over here? And they say, nah, we're not really interested. I'm gonna let it ride, let it go. I was like, all right. I was like, but you're not worried about somebody breaking into your cars or coming down here not being able to see anything and hitting one of your cars while it's parked on the streets? I guess Midway Hollow doesn't ever have a formal meeting, or if they do it on, like I said, everybody does everything on Zoom now. They sure as hell aren't going to invite me. He doesn't even live here. No, but I do walk through here. We share a common street, neighbor. That's why I'm here. I'm here because I care about Marsh Lane. This is the part that breaks my heart, man. I put all that effort into cleaning this shit up, and it was like I didn't do anything. I swear to God, somebody went in here and just grabbed a big giant bag and just dumped it and said, hey, I like watching you sweat for nothing. You don't think I'll do it again? I'll do it again. Where is it coming from? Will give me a chance to test out my new wagon. I should have had it this week. Kitty. That means no coyotes in the area. Was this something I said? That was one of the first things I cleaned up over here. There was a whole bunch of beer cans and stuff over here. That was a miserable time. So this is doing the same thing, but not as bad. Anyway, that sand back there is really good quality sand, though. You know, you can go over there and scoop that up and put it in your flower bed and grow some good stuff. What would make me laugh? The guy saw me doing that, and he went over to the median and tried to get his sand back. Is it almost 1 a.m.? 30 minutes still. Well, 27 technically. I am so glad I decided not to walk the 8-mile route. I was gonna go do Bachman today. I said, well, it doesn't matter that it's late. I'm gonna go over there and see if I can spot any homeless encampments over at the Greenbelt. Oh, man, I am wiped. And it might be because I'm carrying all this gear. I thought it's because I was getting old, but I was like, that's part of it, yeah. I'm thinking to myself, man, I used to be able to walk forever. And I was like, yeah, but you weren't carrying 30 pounds worth of gear. I do kind of miss sprinting. But yeah, now I understand why it was when you watch like fighting movie or fighting animes and they got the old man in there and sometimes he has to uncork himself and he goes into like his like beast mode and you're like, man, why doesn't he do that all the time? I was like, he can't. You know, you see Rashiroshi muscling up and fighting the bad guy and then going back to, you know, grabbing his cane. You don't see the next day where Master Roshi's laid up in bed. He can't move. All his joints are just locked up. He's in pain. I understand how the expression, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. I used to think they were talking about tiredness, but in old age is something more than that. It's a different kind of tiredness. It's the tiredness of the grave. And every year it comes a little bit closer. That's why zombies move the way they do. They're dead tired. All right, when your headlights is out, bud. That's what you get with a vehicle safety test. People aren't going to do that anymore. So you're going to have people riding around here without any headlights on. Get into an accident and be a one sentence blip in a in a newspaper article and say, yeah, shit happens. It doesn't have to.